Good morning everyone. In this video, we are going to cover the current affairs. For mobile optimized ebooks, please install GKToday Academy app. You can attempt the quiz in this app and you can read detailed explanation. For regular updates, please join our Telegram channel. The link is given in the description box. We have started a new channel, Civils Academy. You can subscribe to it if you find it relevant. For hard copy books, you can visit our website gktbooks.com. Now, let's start. What is the name of new digital currency that is being explored by UK? So it is Bitcoin, that is Britain and coin. So UK is exploring a new digital currency. Recently, UK was also in news because of Brexit. It is the exit of UK from European Union. UK was also in news as it is the host of COP26. COP stands for Conference of Parties. So it is related to United Nations Framework Convention on Climate Change. UK was also in news because of Five Eyes Alliance. It is an intelligence sharing alliance of 5 countries. These 5 countries are UK, US and Canada, New Zealand and Australia. Recently, this Five Eyes Alliance was in news as Japan has showed its intention to join this Five Eyes Alliance. UK was also in news as it decided to join CPTPP, that is Comprehensive and Progressive Trans-Pacific Partnership. Please note that initially it was TPP. Later, USA decided to quit it and then this trade agreement was renegotiated and it became CPTPP, that is Comprehensive and Progressive Trans-Pacific Partnership. India is not a party to this trade agreement. Next question is, what is the insurance cover extended to the healthcare workers under Pradhan Mantri Garib Kalyan package? So it is 50 lakh rupees. So the name of initiative is Pradhan Mantri Garib Kalyan package. As a part of this package, health workers are given the insurance. And this insurance scheme covers the loss of life due to COVID-19 and accidental death due to COVID-related duty. The insurance amount is sum of 50 lakh. That is to be paid to the claimant of insured person. So why this scheme was in news recently? Actually, when the scheme was launched, there was a fixed deadline and it was 24th of March 2021. So this scheme was about to end on this date. However, now government has decided to extend the period of the scheme and now it has been extended by 1 more year. So this is a scheme for healthcare workers. Now in the context of COVID-19, recently Sputnik vaccine was approved by the government. It is a vaccine by Russia. Recently, Russia was in news as it announced it is going to build its own space station by 2025. Russia was also in news because of S-400 missile defense system. Now, so far, 3 vaccines are approved in our country. This is Sputnik, other 2 are Covaxin and Covishield. Recently, this Covaxin was in news as ICMR, that is Indian Council of Medical Research, has specified that this Covaxin is effective to neutralize the double mutant strain of this coronavirus. And this is B1.617. This vaccine is manufactured by Bharat Biotech. It is Hyderabad-based institution. ICMR is the key collaborator. Next question is, which organization has released the Global Review of Death Penalty report? So this has been released by Amnesty International. As per this report, there is an overall decrease in the number of global death penalties in 2020. However, please note that as per this report, China is considered as the world's most prolific executioner in the world in terms of death penalty. The headquarters of Amnesty International is in UK. It is a non-governmental organization and it works in the field of human rights. Recently, China was also in news because of PBOC, that is People's Bank of China. So recently, the PBOC, that is Central Bank of China, released a report. As per this report, India's demographic advantage will overtake China by 2035 and therefore it has proposed that China should liberalize its birth policies in order to tackle the problem of aging population. Next question is, what sum has been allocated to the Startup India Seed Fund? So the amount is 945 crore rupees. Startup India Seed Fund was officially unveiled by Commerce Minister Mr. Piyush Goyal. So this fund or this money will be used to provide support to the startups. Now in the context of startup, we have Startup India scheme and there is one Stand Up India scheme. So this Stand Up India scheme is a scheme by DFS, that is Department of Financial Services. It is under Finance Ministry. The Startup India is a scheme by Commerce Ministry. Recently, on the occasion of completion of 5 years, a summit was organized and it was Prarambh Summit. So Prarambh Summit was organized on the occasion of completion of 5 years of Startup India scheme. This fund, which was announced recently, the Startup India Seed Fund, it is expected to boost the startup ecosystem in the Tier 2 and Tier 3 cities. Next question is, Jagananna Vidya Divana scheme is implemented by which state? So it is a scheme by Andhra Pradesh. Name of scheme is Jagananna Vidya Divana. So as a part of this scheme, financial assistance is provided to the students for pursuing higher education. Recently this scheme was in news because the Chief Minister of Andhra Pradesh, Mr. Y.S. Jagan Mohan Reddy, released the first installment under this scheme. The Governor of Andhra Pradesh is Mr. Vishwa Bhushan Harichandan. Recently he was in news as he was awarded Kaling Ratna award by Sarla Sahitya Sansad. Next question is, where is the headquarters of International Energy Agency? So the headquarters of IEA, that is International Energy Agency, is in Paris in France. Recently it was in news because it released a report and it was Global Energy Review. As per this report, energy related CO2 emission across the globe has increased by about 1.5 billion tons in 2021. So this is considered as the largest increase in the carbon emission since 2010. Now please note that IEA, that is International Energy Agency, is a Paris-based organization and it is working under the framework of OECD. OECD is Organization of Economic Cooperation and Development. The headquarters of OECD is in France. OECD conduct PISA. Answer in comment box, what is the full form of PISA? Now recently France was also in news as the National Assembly of France approved Ecocide. Answer in comment box, what is the objective of this particular initiative? Next question is, AIIP OIP grant program has been launched by Australia in partnership with which country? So this AIIP OIP stands for Australia India Indo-Pacific Oceans Initiative Partnership. So this 1.4 million Australian dollars grant program aims to provide a free and open Indo-Pacific region. The objective is to encourage the exchange of expert opinion and resources between Indian and Australian stakeholders. Now recently, Australia was also in news because of Cyclone Serosa. Australia was also in news because of 2+2 dialogue. It was also in news because of Malabar exercise and because of Quad. Quad is Quadrilateral Security Dialogue. Australia was also in news as now Australian Air Force personnel will be known as aviators instead of airmen. Apart from that, recently Australia was in news because Japan and Australia venture started producing hydrogen from brown coal, and this production is taking place at the brown coal reserves in the Victoria state of Australia. Next question is, India's first oxygen express carried oxygen to which state? So it carried oxygen from Andhra Pradesh to Maharashtra. Recently, in order to manage the oxygen supply, Central Railway started this initiative. And this is a Ro-Ro service. What is Ro-Ro? It is roll on, roll off. So as you can see, these trucks are on railway bogies. So suppose we are transporting oxygen from Andhra Pradesh to Maharashtra. So these trucks will roll on these bogies of railway, and once they reach Maharashtra, then they will roll off and they will transport oxygen to the different areas in Maharashtra. So this service has been started by Central Railways, and the oxygen is being supplied from Visakhapatnam steel plant to Maharashtra, and this is given the name Oxygen Express. Recently, Maharashtra was also in news as India's first floating LNG storage and regasification unit is to be set up in Maharashtra, and this is going to be at Jaigarh terminal in Ratnagiri district of Maharashtra. Apart from that, Railways was also in news as recently West Central Railway became the first fully electrified Indian railway zone. Apart from that, Railways was also in news as recently IRSDC has developed the first of its kind form-based codes for the commercial development of railway lands. So in simplest term, This is an initiative for the commercial development of railway land. What is IRSDC? It is Indian Railways Station Development Corporation. Next question is, the State of Global Climate 2020 is a report released by which organization? So it is a report released by United Nations. As per this report, Cyclone Amphan was the costliest tropical cyclone on record for the North Indian Ocean. That means it caused maximum devastation, and that is why it was the costliest tropical cyclone. Now, in the context of global climate, recently on 22nd of April, Earth Day was observed for the environmental protection. 22nd of April was also celebrated as International Girls in ICT Day. Actually, this day is annually celebrated on 4th Thursday of April. This time it was on 22nd of April. 21st of April was celebrated as a Civil Servants Day. Answer in comment box on which date the United Nations Day is celebrated. So these were the most important questions. Now we are going to cover important news events. First is Ace Money Neobank. Now first thing first, what is Neobank? It is an online bank or virtual bank or internet only bank. That means it is a digital bank that serve its customers without traditional physical branch. So recently Ace Money Neobank was in news as it is Kerala's first neobank, and it has been started by Aceware Fintech Services in association with Yes Bank and ICICI Bank. Now, FinIn is India's first full-fledged consumer neobank. On the other hand, FamPay is India's first neobank for teenagers. And Checkbook is India's first neobank for small business owners. Neobank means virtual or digital bank, a bank which is serving its customers without having much physical branches. Next is FirstRand. So it is a bank of South Africa. In fact, it is the second largest bank of South Africa. Recently it was in news because it decided to exit India. Apart from that, recently one more bank was in news which decided to quit its operations from India, and it is Citibank. Next is Global Energy Transition Index. So this is an index by World Economic Forum. As per this index, India is on 87th position. India's score is 53. The index has been topped by Sweden and it is followed by Norway. For this year, the title of this report was Fostering Effective Energy Transition. Next is Times Higher Education, that is the Impact Ranking 2021. So recently it released ranking of world's top 100 educational institutions for sustainability. So as per this ranking, University of Manchester in UK is on top position. From our side, that means from Indian side, there was only one institution in top 100 and it is Amrita Vishwa Vidyapeetham, and it is an institute in Tamil Nadu. It is on 81st position globally. Next is OPCW, that is Organization for Prohibition of Chemical Weapons. So recently OPCW was in news as our CAG, that is Comptroller and Auditor General, GC Murmu, has been appointed as the external auditor for OPCW for a period of 3 years. Next is 4th Khelo India Youth Games. So these games will be organized in Haryana and these will be organized in November-December of 2021. Usually the Khelo India Youth Games are organized in the month of January, and these games will be organized in multiple cities of Haryana. So these cities are Panchkula, Ambala, Sahabad, and apart from that, these games will be organized in Delhi and Chandigarh. So for the first time, Khelo India Youth Games are organized in multiple cities. Next is first of its kind draft cycling policy in India. So it was released by Chandigarh administration. Objective is to promote cycling as a mode of transportation in urban areas. Next is Washington Sundar and Devdutt Padikkal. So these two cricketers were in news as recently Puma has signed them as the brand ambassador. Next is Arjun Kalyan. So first thing first, Arjun Kalyan is from Tamil Nadu. Second is that Arjun Kalyan recently became 68th Indian Grandmaster. Who was the first Indian Grandmaster? He was Vishwanathan Anand, and he became the first Indian Grandmaster in 1988. Last news is related to Chad. It is Central African country. Recently it was in news as the president of Chad, Idriss Déby died away recently during a fight with rebels. So these were the most important news events. Please note that the test is provided in a separate video. So in order to check your learnings, please attempt that test seriously. Thank you, and that's all for the day.